Hi, I'm Sailor Moon, and I am Tuxedo Mask. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but a lot of folks always used to say I'm not saying it right. But I guess I am saying it right. Anyway, so today on here we're going to talk about, it being Freedom Day in the United States, or the Onded Irks. And it means a lot of things to a lot of folks. I got something in my eye. Anyway, so a lot of folks, what they'll do is some folks will have eat outs. Well, most likely they make the food and they eat it outside their house. Others might actually do fireworks, and some might actually hold until the night to do it. Now, a lot of folks might say, so what was the saga until behind Freedom Day in the Onded Irks? Well, it went back to 1776 YL, or at least that was when that's when the Onded settlements then soon became the Onded Irks. They said they were free. Yes, it's true, the fight started 1 year before that in 1775 YL, and it's true that even though the Onded Irks was free in 1776 YL, the fight kept on going until 1788 YL, since England did not see the Onded Irks as free until did not stop the fight until that point later. Well, there were a lot of things that led to this happening. It wasn't just one thing. It was many things that didn't get uh, brought up. Like choosing when it came in leadership, tolling. There were a lot of things that the Onded Irks felt, or the Onded settlements felt, that their leadership had let them down. That the King Rick leadership lost its right to oversee them, to lead them after a lot of things did not happen. And this was just something that, you know, it was something that happened over time. It was one thing leading into another thing and another thing that didn't get addressed. A lot of hang-ups that the leadership did not care about, didn't talk about, and didn't do anything to heal. So what's led to the Onded settlements to fight England and to become free. Yes, it's true, France did help the Onded Irks at the end, but the Onded Irks was the first land to ever become in the now lifetime time span to be free from a outside overseer. And soon that would lead the other lands to eventually become free from England too. But the Onded Irks was the first. Yeah, you're right about that, Sailor Moon. The Onded Irks was the first to become free from England, and that would lead other lands to become fully free or half free, depending to what deals they came up with. But it was what it was. And a lot of folks out there, and this is mostly folks looking from the inside out, that they would think that in their mind they might think to themselves, well, I got something in my eye. They might think to themselves, so what were all the things that led to it? Well, first thing, there was having a voice in one's leadership, choosing and picking. I think that was one of the things that the folks there felt that they didn't have a right in. I guess unfair tolling. That was another thing. The toll was unfair. They didn't have any say in that. And I'm sure there were other, you know, hang-ups that started way back in 1621 YL, well, 1620 YL to 1776 YL. That's how long the Onded settlements was underneath the lording of England at the time. I'm sure there were a lot of things that, a lot of other hang-ups that happened that England didn't really care about or didn't really do anything about, and that the leadership didn't care about. You know, things that King George, uh, Honister, and land leader William Pitt could have done, but and the lawmaking gathering could have done, but they just, didn't really care. Why? Who knows? They were too busy overseeing their own selves and their other lands that they had underneath their run at the time, and I guess they didn't think it was a big deal. And yes, at the end of the day, these hang ups over time get to a point where they just said it's not worth. You lost the right to lord over us. You lost the right to be our leadership. You broke the deal. You weren't doing all the things you said that you would do and all the oaths you said you would keep. And that's what led to the war. Now, everyone says not really sure when it truly started, but my guess would be it had to have been at least 1775. Wow, maybe even earlier than that. But yeah, there were overthrows of King Rick leaderships in all of the settlements. The act of filling in leadership was made at the time. Income was shifted over from England's income over to the onto Irk's income. And this did it. Yes, there was a lot of fighting. Yes, a lot of folks died on both sides. Yes, it's true that in 1776 YL, the Oned Irks said they were free and told King George Honister and land leader William Pitt that they were a free land and that the leadership of England had dropped the ball and lost their right to lord over them or to lead them. This did not sit well with them, and they kept doing a fight up until 1788 YL. But by that point, the England's lawmaking gathering had made the choose to end the fight. They didn't see anything worth in it. And it's true, the Oned Irks had other hang-ups of England over the years before both sides eventually became good friends. That wasn't just the only land that got free. If they thought the hang-ups was only going to happen in the Oned Irks, they were wrong. Other lands that they lorded over or leaded over started to have the same hang-ups. And they seek to stop that from happening, but once again, they started to lose land after land. So it is a big deal. Now, some folks might say, "Oh, why did they not call it Freedom Day or Oned Irks Day?" I don't know. I guess they wanted to work with the French borrowed word independent when the English word would be freedom, so I guess it would be Freedom Day is the English word for it, since independence is a French borrowed word. So yeah, it's a big deal. And I know some folks out there are like, Tuxedo Matt for in this film, some folks out there are like, hold on here. So at the end of the day, that is the whole thing. Oh, and I'm sure I'm leaving out a lot more to the SAGA tale, but that was pretty much what it was. I'm sure there were other things, and I'm sure if you go on Wikipedia, it will mention a whole bunch of other things about it, you know. And I'm sure if you got books on it, the books might have a little bit more stuff about it than we knew. But we're just talking about what a lot of folks, a lot of new realtors know about it. But the books probably have a lot more on it. But that's my thought on it. I'm Sailor Moon, Tuxedo Mask. Hope you like this film.